First of all, what makes you passionate about sports, specifically college football?
I just love, well, my main reason years ago, before everybody started getting paid, or at least started getting paid over the table and not under the table, um, was their love for the sport, just representing your family, your community, your university, your brothers, in the locker room, when most of those guys weren't going to be in the NFL. And, that's still the case where, the majority of them aren't going to go to the NFL, but they're, still playing their hearts out, balling out, trying to be seen, trying to be noticed. I've always just loved college football, the atmosphere, whether it's D2, FCS, FBS, bowl games, playoff games, regular season games, week zero games, like I treat every week, kind of the same in terms of like, hey, it's college football, let's lock in. I just love the atmosphere, the electricity from, all the traditions from, the tomahawk, Florida State's chop to Iowa's Kinnick wave and like jump around, which I've told my kids about with Wisconsin to like, so a bunch of cool stuff that happens in college football that, to an outsider, you might scratch your head like, I don't see any connection between this song and this team, or, why do they say War Eagle for the Auburn Tigers? But, like stuff like that, it just clicks, and that's what makes college football college football.
Yeah, I love the variety. Like you can get a cool, unique experience anywhere, really. I know I've gotten to like sample at least like 15 different home environments at this point, and all of them have been really cool, like one way or another, because again, like they're all just so unique. Now, obviously, I know you don't just talk college football. You're kind of similar. Also, you spread like a wider net. What other sports do you usually talk about?
Outside college football, NFL, NBA, kind of more into the playoffs, because we're kind of in the trenches with college football. So like the beginning of NBA kind of gets forgotten about until, maybe after the All-Star break or Christmas. I kind of consider Christmas as like a almost loose start. I jump in when college football's kind of at the tail end and all we've got is like bowl games and playoff games and stuff. Then I'll start kind of locking in. I'm a Spurs fan, big surprise because it's in Texas. Of course he is. Um, but yeah, NBA, college basketball. My son and I love March Madness. We draw a big wall bracket. I don't know if I posted it this year. That we draw. It's one of those like dry erase. So we'll draw out the whole bracket as we go. Then as April passes, we'll erase it and write half NBA, half NHL, and follow the playoffs on our giant wall bracket. So yeah, it's mostly college football, but like we'll talk NFL, NBA. I'm big into wrestling. I don't know. Depending how people view wrestling, it's kind of in the, is it sport? Is it not sports? Or I've always been a huge fan. So like I lock in Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, stuff like that, Money in the Bank. So some of the gimmick stuff they do, my son and I really enjoy watching it. So yeah, like you said, we cast a wide net across different sports. We lock in pretty much to college football and NFL, but dip our toes, dip our feet into several other stuff.